Hey everybody, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and it's a happy Friday morning. It's a lovely sunny day as well, so I shouldn't be in here at the bench, I should be outside doing something. But anyway, bit of a jumbled up review for you this morning. I've had a delivery from Dave Coley, a couple of kits I ordered, and he sent me a few little freebies just to shout out, give him a bit of a shout out and show you sort of things what he does. And the other nice thing about it, we've got a kit to review. Now, I know a lot of you like my reviews, and I've just done this Lancaster, although it hasn't gone out yet. It's going out later today, and it's like a £500, £600 model. And I do other £300-400 models and everything. But what about those people that can't or don't want to spend that sort of money on a model, and they just want something for £10? Well, here we go. This is the Boulton Paul Defiant Mark II. This is a night fighter from MPM. I believe, I'm not sure, but I think Dave Coley is an importer of MPM. I know he certainly does a few MPM kits. Go take a look. And this week, this is March the 18th, 2022. This is actually his kit of the week. And this kit isn't £20 or £100, or it's a tenner. It's £9.99. So this is what we're going to review this morning, along with some other bits and pieces he sent, including a lovely paint set that's come with it. So I'm going to have to build this now. I'll do a video build of it. And try out this new paints as well. So the first things first, let's have a look at this kit. Boulton Paul Defiant Mark II Night Fighter, 1 to 72nd scale. This was England's, United Kingdom's, Great Britain, however you want to call it. This was one of their first sort of turreted aircraft to go out and sort of take out the German bombers at the beginning of the war. That's as far as I know. And there's lots and lots of history in here. End opening box. There's not really much to show you around the box. All we've got here is we've got the Czech Republic, English and German languages with some health and safety stuff, and that's it really. So there we go. The kit number is 72519, and as you'll see when I open the box, it's a lot more simple than most of the kits you see me do, and it's just literally an end opening box with one bag containing other bags and a set of instructions. So on here it gives us some history about it. It says in response to a British air industry requirement, they made it in 1935. So saw action over the Hague and Dunkirk in May 1940. 700 Defiant Mark I airframes were built, 150 of them being converted to TT3 configuration for use by many Army and Navy units for gunnery training. Has a Rolls-Royce Merlin 3 engine, top speed 250 miles an hour, and has a Boulton Paul A Mark IID turret with 4 303 Brownings with 600 rounds per gun. So as you can tell, I mean 600 rounds per gun, it wasn't going to be the best thing in the sky, but at the time it was all we had. So there we go. Right. So going into the instructions, first of all, as you can see, it's not the biggest instruction sheet in the world, but it wouldn't be. So we've got the sprue call out here, we've got our clear parts, we've even got photo etch, we've also got a lovely set of decals in there. And as you can see, it's not the normal old-fashioned type runner sprues, it's actually a sprue within a frame. This is like the old-fashioned type, but at least it's in a frame rather than, I think you know what I mean, the old Airfix where it was just like a tree and all the parts were hanging off. So setting us here, we've got the history, photos and technical references, Mark Ansell, UK, technical research, Les Whitehouse, England, UK. So it's had some I assume, good people, knowledgeable people behind the development of the kit. So on with the build. Obviously, it's not going to be the most detailed thing in the world, being 72nd scale. It's not that big. But here you can see we've got the cockpit floor bulkhead seat. We've got some seat padding, control stick and some rudder pedals going in. Got no harnesses or anything. I don't know if I've got any I can put in there, but we'll use some bits of tape or something just to represent something. Maybe this didn't have harnesses at this early stage, I don't know. And we've got a black and white picture of the cockpit there, which is, I don't know, not much use really, but it's there. And then we've got the throttle quadrant going in the side there by the look of it, and then we've got some other bits and pieces going in the side of the fuselage there, and it's giving us the colour call-outs in is that Mr. Hobby Colours or Humbrol? Let's just have a quick look. I don't know if it tells us even. Let me just check it. I can't remember if 78 is interior green or not. Yeah, those colour call-outs are in Humbrol. So if you've got Humbrol paints, you're laughing. If not, it's going to be XF71 in there, and then you've got your matte black there, XF1. So there we go. Bringing the fuselage halves together, fitting the instrument panel. I didn't see if we get a decal for the instrument panel. No, I don't think we do. So that's okay. I might have some detail that we can dry brush. And then we'll put the cockpit into the fuselage, join the fuselage halves together, put the wings together. So nice to see you've got a solid main under wing, lower wing. So that's going to give us our dihedral and everything all set. Building the prop up, adding the wing, adding the tail planes, and then we're going to add the radiator on the bottom. We've got some photo etch going in here, the L numbers of the photo etch, and it's just giving us a measurement here. We're going to fit something in B24. That's going to be the antenna. It's got some antenna. If you look at the picture, it has antenna with an aerial on there. Okay, and we've also got this here in photo etch. So I think we got that there in photo etch. We'll have a look. And then we've got the undercarriage going in. I'm guessing if you wanted to, you could just have the undercarriage folded up. And it's giving us an image there of the undercarriage leg. Wheel wells were in metal primer, grey-green colour, or repainted in black. So you could do them green and then roughly paint them black if you want to. Add a little bit of interest rather than just have the whole thing black. Building up the turret, it looks quite nicely detailed. With the base there going in, the mechanism for the guns, the sling, the looks like the sling that they sit in, and then you got the actual guns themselves going in, and then you got the two halves of the turret going together. Looks like we've got the seam is on one of the part of the frame, so that's a nice touch. And then we're going to drop the turret into the fuselage, and then add the capping for the top of the fuselage. Adding the canopy, and then you can see here we've got, this is step 10. And this is step 11, so we've got A13 as a plastic part, and then we've got the two photo etch parts going on for that antenna, and we've got some antenna to add to the wings there, top and bottom. So basically, not showing it here because we can't see it, but you've got the antenna there on the front of the wing, so that's in plastic and photo etch, and on the other side we can't see it in the photo, but it's there, so it's going to look lovely in this tiny little scale. And then we've got plastic parts here, we've got a pitot tube, landing light. It's telling us to remove the area for the landing light, so you'd have to just cut that out yourself. And there we go, we've got the exhaust on the side there going on, and that's basically about it. Very, very simple little build. It's not going to take very long at all. Look, the plastic looks to be nice. And then we've got a couple of options here. We've got option A and option B, actually option C as well. We've got 3 versions, so it's giving us all these numbers here, our stencil data and our decals going on. Overall colour they're saying is D, which down here is FS37038 RDM2A Night. I think that's what it's saying there. So it's night black. It's like a very, very dark sort of black. You could use that MRP cowling colour I reviewed for. I'm guessing it probably looked quite good, but you know, over a coat of black. But you basically want it, you know, it's going to take some work to make it look good, just rather than just being black. So we'll have a little play with that. And then we've got more decals here for version B. So this is Wrexham, June 1942. This is the first production with the A1 radar. And then this one here is number 151 Squadron, mid-1941. Probably best to do that one. So there we go, that's the instructions, all very simple. And then we've got a bag of parts here. It looks like it's a resealable bag, perhaps. Oh, it's a very nice resealable bag, look at that. So I think what we'll do is fold this under, and then we can take the parts out, like so. So now we've emptied the bag. It's nice that it's resealable. So we've got a decal sheet there. Again, a nice resealable bag. It's very nice quality, rather than that crinkly stuff. It's a nice soft plastic, so it's not all noisy for you. And also you can see they put the decals face up, which is always nice. So they're going to come out there. They look to be very nice. I've never used MPM decals, but they look okay. They're sort of semi-gloss. You can see the carrier film on them, but they're not too thick. But you can see there, you've got all your insignia and your registration and everything. You've got your fin flashes. And then we've got some stencils down here which are going to look great on that black paint. So really, really nice. Anything you can get to break up the black is going to be a bonus. And then we've got a tiny, tiny photo etch fret. I think this is the smallest I've ever seen. And on there we have some very, very small photo etch parts, antenna and stuff like that. So very nice indeed. That's going to look really impressive in this tiny scale, and also very fragile and easy to knock off. So you have to be careful of that. We'll put these away so they don't get scratched. There we go. They can go in there. If you guys have used MPM, if you've built MPM kits and you have any hints and tips for me, let me know. So here we've got the clear sprue. Again, that's a resealable bag, so we can see how good these look. Now this is the wrinkly type plastic, and I must say they look very nice indeed. Obviously because of the scale and that, you're going to get some distortion, but you can see on there, let's grab my little bit of handy wood. You can see on there that the parts are pretty clear, but you have got a bit of distortion in them because of their size versus their thickness. And you just injection molded plastic or whatever you make them out of, you're not going to get the scale thickness, so you're going to get distortion. But they are very, very clear. They are very, very nice indeed. See, they're lovely. So very nice indeed. I noticed on the front of the box it actually says canopy is injected. So I don't know if MPM used to resin cast their clear parts. I don't know, because injecting clear plastic is a bloody nightmare. I know that a lot of companies struggle with it, Airfix being one of them. I've got 3 1/72 scale Lancasters, and all 3 of them have got spider webbing in the clear parts. So there we go. Right, so here we are. Here's the first sprue. This is sprue. Doesn't have a sprue number. It's probably A though, because it's got all these small parts, I notice. But we've got a very small fuselage. What is it? It's only 145 millimeters long. So with the prop, it's going to be about 150. But it's finely molded. It's very clean. A little bit of flash on the back there. We got a surface panel detail. It's engraved detail, which is nice. Recessed detail. We've got some detail on the inside there for the cockpit, and then we got individual propeller blades with no. Oh no, they have got square ends on them. So I was going to say I had no way of setting them. But all in all, looks very nice indeed. The air scoop there is in 2 halves to get the shape, because you can't mould it in one. But the exhaust there, great big exhaust manifolds they used to use in those days. And we've got some bob weights there by the look of it, antenna, and there's the spinner, and there's the back half of the spinner. And there's a radiator grille there with a nice mesh on it, so you can see here. There we go. There's the fuselage with the recessed detail on it. But it is very, very crisp, very, very nice. Very nice indeed, actually, for a little 72nd scale. And then we've got the main sprue here, and this is our wing upper surfaces, and we've got some raised detail on there to show the fairing or the combing they put over the joint. And you got all the rest is recessed. Obviously all of the control surfaces are moulded in on the panels. Tail planes are there, and then we've got the obviously lower wing surface there again. We've got some rivet detail on there, and we've got the recessed detail, and we've got the fabric on the ailerons depicted there. Very nice indeed. We've also got fabric depicted on here. Undercarriage bay. It's got a little bit of detail in it, as you can see. So you can give it a little bit of a dry brush. And then we've got our wheels in halves, not flat spotted. Pilot seat there. Got the spine of the fuselage. Cockpit floor, instrument panel. That's very nice for 72nd scale. Very nice indeed. If I can get that in the light, you can see there. So yeah, all in all, £10. It's great. It's you know, it's great for 10 quid. I mean, what else can you get for £10 these days? So there we are. So that's the kit out of the way, and that is, as I say, that has been the Boulton Paul Defiant Mark II Night Fighter kit number 72519. Now Dave has also sent me a set of paints to try out, and these are actually the Arcus Paints. This is colour set number 3005, and Dave has become the importer for these paints. I have a feeling they're made in Ukraine. If you go to the Arcus website, it looks like all their profits are going straight to the Ukraine people. So there's various sets of these and individual bottles and everything. I have never heard of them, I've never seen them, I've never tested them, I haven't even opened these and sniffed them. But it's rather confusing. If you look on the back of here, it says they're enamel paints, but it says down here non-hazardous, and I don't know how you can have enamel paints that are non-hazardous. I really don't know. So we've got directions for use here. Stir well before use. Allow 6 hours between coats, which seems a lot. If the paint gets thick, add some dilutant. Now, it doesn't say what dilutant to use, and I'm not even sure if they do their own thinners. But I will do a test with this. When I build this model, we will use these paints, and I'll do a test. So in here, we've got the overall colour of night fighter aircraft, the night. We've got the grey-green, which is the interior colour, so that's good. Sky grey is the colour of the code lettering of RAF night fighter aircraft until July the 2nd, 1942. And you've got the red is the colour of letters of RAF night fighters according to the AMOA 66442 inner surfaces of fabric covering. And then we've got the blue, which is insignia markings of RAF World War II aircraft. And then we've got exhaust manifold, which is the flame dampeners and exhaust manifolds. So there's really only one paint there that's going to apply to a small model like this, is going to be the night. Well, obviously we use the green on the inside, we can use the exhaust manifold, but the others, the sky grey, the red and the blue, you know, for bigger stuff, yes, they might be really good to use on a, you know, if you're using masks on a Lancaster or something like that, on a big 32nd scale kit. So going into the box, I haven't opened the end there with this taped, I opened the wrong end. We have basically got 6 paints, and they're all 10ml, which is nice, the same as Tamiya. So as I say, I haven't opened these, they're all sealed. So we've got this one here is the exhaust manifold, allow 6 hours between coats. I'm just wondering if it says on here, it doesn't actually say what thinners to use, but I'll do a little test and we'll see if Mr. Colour Leveling Thinners works. But this one here I've shaken the most. This is our night black, and it says they are non-hazardous, but I'm thinking they must, if they're enamels, they must be bad for you. They can't be good for you. But they don't. We can see that night black is kind of, so you can see the blue tinge in it. It's very much like that MRP cowling colour in the Japanese range. Where is it? It's over here. Is this it here? Nope, that's the Atoki green. Cowling colour. You can see it's a very, very, see the colours have settled in the bottom there, but it's a very, very dark. It's an extremely dark blue, if you like. And that looks to be what that is. And blue is always the colour that really sets black off if you're trying to get a sort of black finish on a night fighter, like a P61 or something, and not have it look like a blob of black plastic. So, but there we are. So I'll do a little test. I'll see if that thing's okay with Mr. Hobby Leveling Thinners, and I'll let you know. But we'll be using these. We'll be using that one. That's the interior green. That's a lovely colour. Love that colour, interior green. And then here we've got the grey, which is what they use for the sky grey. It's what they use for the insignia, as they said. You've got the red for the insignia again, and then we've got the blue for the roundels, and then we've got exhaust manifold there, which is, it looks to be like a very dark brown colour there. So as I say, I'll do a build of this, do a quick build, and we'll use these paints and we'll see how they go. The other things he sent me, now I don't know if you know, if you haven't bought from Dave Coley's Emporium, go take a look, davecoleysemporium.co.uk. You often get a freebie in the box. I think it depends on how much you spend on a kit, but here's his tweezers, davecoleysemporium.co.uk, and they're lovely tweezers. They're really good. They don't, what I like about these is quite often you get tweezers do this on the ends, and that's when your parts will start to flick around. These don't do that. They stay together, so they're fairly rigid up at this end, and I use these a lot. So they're really good. You get those free, as I say, with some kits. The other thing you get free from them is the cheaper steel, the steel type snips. You get those free as well. But I think that's only if you sort of buy a sort of £30–40 kit. If you buy a cheaper kit, I don't know what you get if you buy a £10 kit. But they're basically as freebies. And then he does like a nicer set here. And I did take a look at these earlier, and the cardboard on here is excessively tight. It is ridiculously tight. So I'm going to open it out like this. There we go. And these are very much like the trumpeter ones. They're single-edged, but you don't have a screw in the side to adjust them, so you'll have to be careful. But you've got one. It says they're single-edged, but it looks to me like they're double-edged. Single-edged, soft grip, 100mm sprue cutters for plastic and PE parts. And they're double-edged. So I don't know why they put single-edged. But so they're very much like the Tamiya nippers, and I've got my Tamiyas here. And you can see that they look pretty much identical. But the difference is these can be like £30 and these are £7.50, so worth a go, and we will use these on this build and see how they get on. Let's see what they're like at cutting the parts off. In fact, what we'll do is we'll try one now. Cut. And they're absolutely fine. I wouldn't go right up to the plastic with them, but they're going to last you a long time because they're better. They're far better than the steel ones you use. But, yeah, very nice indeed. So we will use them for this build. But yeah, you can see it's removed the sprue nib. I've left a little bit on there, but it hasn't ripped chunks of plastic out of it or anything. So all good. So that's all good. And he's also sent me these two sets of brushes. Now these are the Sable blend lining brushes, and their size is 1 to 5, and you can see the sizes there. I will get them out. So there they are there, there's all 5 of them. They come with a plastic tube and they come with their own sleeve. And you can see there, we've got 1 to 5, and they should be very nice, so we'll try them out as well. And they are £4.99 for the set, so £1 each. Not bad, is it? And then here we've got, I thought very interesting, I've never seen anything like this before. This is a set of weathering brushes. So we've got a fan shape designed for pigments move, sweep and remove dry pigments. We've got a saw shape specifically designed to make plain strokes and streaks with oils and enamels, so it might be good for wood graining. Diagonal weathering brush. The angled tip of this brush has been specially designed to add wear and strokes when using oil paints with ease. And rounded weathering brush specifically designed for dry brushing and weathering with oils on horizontal surfaces. And there they are there. And they are very interesting indeed. We grab them out here. You can see we've got this fan brush here, which is interesting. This rounded one here for dry brushing, which is going to work really well, I think. You've got the saw one there. That's going to work really well with wood graining. We'll try that out. And then we've got here, I can see this is going to be brilliant because quite often when you want to move your enamels around and move your oils around, you use a small brush for getting into fine places, but it doesn't hold enough thinners, whereas this will hold the thinners and you'll be able to move it around and push it about and do your oil staining and stuff with that. So that would be really nice. So we'll probably try these out a lot on the Stug. So big thank you to Dave for sending me these. Obviously he sent me them free of charge, so this video is a paid promotion. And although I'm not paid for it, I am given samples of stuff to review on the channel, and as most of you will know, I always give a fair and honest opinion. I will tell you now, these are not as good as these. You will hear straight away if you listen to me, if you listen to this cut. Okay, listen, and then listen to this one cut. You could hear that this one is a lot sharper than this one. Okay, but as I say, these are like 4 times the price of those, so you'd expect them to be better, wouldn't you? But these are like your next step up from these. If you're fairly new to the hobby and you want to get away from these steel cutters, go for a set of these. They feel exactly the same as the Tamiyas. I should imagine it is just that the Tamiya is ground. I know, yeah, I can see now when you look on here, the Tamiya is ground back to, say, I don't know, 30 degrees, whereas these are more like 45 degrees. So hence, they are going to be sharper, they are going to cut easier because they've got a better slicing action. But the biggest problem with these, and I can show you, that's the trumpeter ones. I can show you here to prove that I'm not bullshitting yet. You can see the problem with these is they chip really easily because they're so fine. These are the even finer ones, and they do chip that, and that was cut in plastic. So, you know, for $7.50 they're great. So there we go. So that's the cutters, the kit, the paints, and the brushes, all reviewed. Thanks for watching, and as I say, come back very soon. We'll have a complete build of this with a paint, trying those Arcus paints out. And I haven't painted with enamels for years, but I know they're far better to work with than acrylics. They're much nicer to work with, but you've got the long drying times, as it says on there, and also normally you've got the smell. Enamel thinners, as you know, sticks the house out, but these don't appear to smell. They are just one more. They almost smell like ink. It's weird. And I don't understand how they can say, or even get away with saying, non-hazardous, because anything you paint is hazardous, surely. I don't know. We'll give them a go. I reckon they're going to be really, really nice. So I'll see you all soon. I might end up buying a load of these for the Lancasters, eh? I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this little video. And I'm later on today is Friday the 18th of March 2022, and later on tonight at 8:30 we have the premiere of the review of the Lancaster from Border Model. So see you all for that one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.